Hi there. It is Friday, December 5th, 2025. I just wanted to touch base real quick with you about waiting. What does it mean sometimes that we have to wait? Don and I were talking this morning in our Bible study about Joseph. And if you remember in the story in Genesis chapter 40, um, Joseph was in prison. Remember, his wife Potiphar had accused him of trying to rape her when she was in fact the aggressor, and he was put in prison. And so when he was put in prison, he found favor with the prison guard, and basically he was running the jail. And there were a couple of prisoners that came in. It was the cupbearer and the baker, and both of these guys had dreams, and one of them, the dream meant that, hey, in just a few days you're going to be restored back to your rightful duty. That was a cupbearer, and the baker, he said, hey, in a couple of days you're going to die. You're going to be hung, and then you're going to be beheaded. And those things came true. As the cupbearer was being released out of prison, Joseph said, hey, remember me, don't forget me. But yet he didn't remember him. In Genesis 41 and verse 1, it says 2 full years later. So Joseph stayed in jail for an additional 2 years simply because the cupbearer forgot. He forgot him. But look what happened. Pharaoh has this dream, and it was so disturbing to him. He called all of the wise men and all the magicians and said, hey, interpret this dream for me. And and then the cupbearer says, hey, I remember this guy in jail, and he told me what I dreamed, and it came true. Here I am. So Joseph was pulled out of jail and taken before the Pharaoh, and basically he was taken from a prisoner to the second in command of an empire. You know, at that time, Egypt was more than just a country. They were an empire. They conquered. This is just incredible. And one of the things it says the Pharaoh told him, said, only I, this is in verse 40 of Genesis chapter 41. He says, only I, when I am sitting on the throne, will have a higher rank than yours. Now, what would have happened had Joseph been released early? He would have went home. So, here's the point. Life doesn't always go the way we want it to. But it could just be that God has a purpose for where you are. And we're told that everything works for the good for those that are in Christ Jesus. So, don't forget. All right, this is our task. Kind of like Joseph asked the cupbearer to not forget me. Hey, God is saying to us right now, don't forget. You might be in a dark place. You might be in the spot in your life that you don't want to be in, and you feel like you need to be somewhere different. But God knows that He's going to use you. And it could just be that He is going to propel you to second in command of an empire. How many people were saved because of what Joseph did? And I'll put another question to you. How is the world, the very world that we live in today, how is that world affected by what Joseph did all those years ago? You ever heard the term the butterfly effect? A butterfly flaps his wings in one part of the world, on the other side of the planet it causes a hurricane. So anyway, that's my thought for the day. Hope it helps. Stay blessed by the best, and we'll talk soon.